The spots I choose mostly are spots which are seen by many people, but that doesn't mean that I do them because of the people seeing them, because it's just because I myself pass those spots often. It fills most of my time which I am awake. I paint alone mostly, so I have the possibility to think. With every painting there are thoughts connected. I got used to just getting my cans on my own and just walk outside at night, even if it's cold, if it's raining. Other people are just sitting at home and maybe watching TV, fucking their wives, just doing stuff that everybody does, and I'm able to express myself.
I want to be known. In 100 years, only a couple of names will be remembered. I want to be one of them.
King is always going to be what you say, a true legendary writer like me, myself, and I, who was the one and only member of the Fantastic Partners crew who really made what this is now. You know what I'm saying? From lettering to designs and everything else, you know? Now you got these dudes who do these big productions that make themselves look good as a writer because, you know, it's better without doing it on the train when you got walls. But back in the days, if you didn't have whole cars on the subway and plenty of them, you was considered straight up toy. What is it, top to bottom? Top to bottom. Fried cans right now. Let me get look.
They wanted to see this traveling around on the system so they could point to it and say, that's my work, that's my tag.
I used to love to see your morning strap hangers reading their newspaper, drinking a cup of coffee, and all of a sudden this train comes rolling into the station and they glance up. You know, sometimes you see them drop their cup of coffee and the newspaper, and then you see this whole thing of color come pulling into the station.
A train yard is something like a playground for you. You enter it and it has certain rules. It has a certain atmosphere.
We know where to go, how to go, so we never get really busted.
You don't see yourself as a criminal, you just see yourself like as a very slick, cool, clever boy who's tried to give his art somewhere to the public and gets away with it.
You know, like a fighter who wants to hunt a lion for the first time. You got to prove his maturity.
It's just like the whole action. It's like an act, sort of like the lost adventure you can get in the city.
We found after we did some surveys that the public were very concerned about this type of damage. In addition to that, of course, London Underground, I think it was costing them, when we first started, about £2 million a year. That went up to £4 million, although it's decreased subsequently.
to know, like, the whole town was sleeping and you went through the maddest night, you know.
A few people have done that side, a few people have done that thing there. But the boy in the middle keeping dog, everyone's doing it. Next minute all I hear is run, so run.
It's just good doing it all together. It's just a good thing, like, you'd have to do it to understand properly. British Council police, they're behind. They'd just parked up behind the bus. Everyone was crouching down and hiding under the seats. And I remember Zonk, he was actually ducking down. He paid the man like that. Paid the man. Like, I was upstairs shitting myself.
What I come away with is like what I've experienced, and it's like, that's worth it for me. You know, no money can pay for that all-nighter.
When we get old, some experiences I've had I'll never forget, you know what I mean? That's a good thing about it.
Males of a particular age group tend to form their own subcultures with their own identified norms and rules. They then gain credibility by obeying those subcultural norms and rules. Once the offender gets involved in the subculture, he is then put under enormous pressure by his peers to commit offences, or wants to impress his peers by committing lots of offences or dangerous offences. We've had 4 deaths on the underground system in 7 years. We don't want to see any more. There's a very, very small minority. These are the ones that do the mural work, and they normally do it for self-actualisation. They do it because they like to see their own work on the trains. The taggers, I think they're in it for the fun, but it's fun that can do them an enormous amount of damage.
I've been caught for criminal damage about 10 times. In total I've done about 1.5 years in prison for graffiti on 2 separate occasions. Graffiti's always on my brain. I'm always doing the outlines. In prison, I just practice and practice and practice. I send letters to my friends with outlines on. In a way I feel stupid for going to prison for it, because who goes to prison for graffiti?
If you've got a recidivist offender that's perhaps committed £100,000 worth of damage and continues to commit this type of offence, then we look towards detention, not for rehabilitation, but literally to control that individual.
It's not stopping me. Prison doesn't stop me. I don't think anyone could stop me. My mum and dad can't stop me, so I don't see no one else is going to stop me.
Gary started doing graffiti when he was about 12 years old. It was a passion to him, that it wasn't a passing phase. It wasn't something that was going to